Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show, and I'm going to do a movie review. Me and my wife recently went to see the movie ISS, right there, or you could see it right there. It stands for International Space Station. I had seen the trailer in the movies probably months ago, and when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks great. Really cool concept. You know, they're floating in the International Space Station. They look down at Earth. You probably saw the trailer. And you could see massive explosions. There's like a nuclear war going on. And how they're going to react to this. And I was like, that's a really cool original concept. So I was kind of pumped up to see the movie. And what I typically do, and I don't really try to read reviews because I want to go in with an open mind, my own feeling. So here's a basic plot, which you probably saw from the trailer. You got three NASA astronauts, you got three Russian cosmonauts in the International Space Station. The movie starts, you got two NASA astronauts, a woman who is tough. She was once a Marine. She's going up with a male NASA astronaut. They land at the International Space Station, where you already got one American up there and the three Russian cosmonauts. And, you know, it's a really tight quarters. It shows what the International Space Station, I guess, looks like a little bit. It's really tight. And they give them lessons. This is how you go to the bathroom. This is how you sleep. And we work together. And it's really tight quarters. We got to get to know each other and live together and work together because they're scientists and astronauts. And they got to work together. Really good concept. In fact, there's a romance between the existing American who's up there and the female Russian cosmonaut. So they have a thing going on. So far, so good. One day, they're looking out the window, and they see boo, 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 these massive, you can see it right there, massive explosions down on Earth. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on? They try to reach mission control, both. Now, all of a sudden, the Russians are on their end, the Americans are on their end. They're trying to reach mission control. They lose power. They don't know what's going on, and not giving them much away, both of them get a message that says, you have to take control of the ISS by any means necessary. The Americans get that message. They assume the Russians get the same thing. And now, the rest of the movie becomes, who's going to control this space station? And why, really? And to me, that's where the movie really, really fell apart. I mean, it really kind of pissed me off. It just became your typical kind of, I mean, it's in a small enclosed space, but it's like espionage and not trusting each other, and who's going to off who, and all to take control. Meanwhile, there's like nothing left of Earth as far as you could see. There's really no communication going back and forth, and the ISS, the space station, is actually starting to fall back to Earth. Slowly, it's losing power. So it will crash and they'll all die if it keeps sinking and falling back to Earth. The subplot is that the two women, the Russian woman who has a relationship with one of the NASA male astronauts, she starts bonding with the Marine, the female NASA, to work together, because now she doesn't trust the two Russians anymore, and nobody seems to trust anybody. And she exposes that, listen, the Russians have been working on this radiation sickness treatment that can reverse it, and they can save the whole world somehow. And she should go back to Earth with this Russian secret that the Russians have been working on. And it just really becomes a murder espionage thriller in a tight space. I mean, I think the tagline is, it turns out that in space they can hear you scream, which is so cheesy because, of course, that's a knockoff of the Alien one. In space, no one can hear you scream. I'm like, who thought of that tagline? Jeez. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that was a reviewer. I didn't like the characters, for one thing. My wife didn't either. You know, the number one rule of a good movie is you gotta have an interest and bond and care about the characters. I kept thinking, like, you know, in order to be an astronaut and get into outer space, you have to be the best of the best. I mean, the best of the best. Training for years and years and years and knowing everything inside and out. So when you get up there, it's like second hand, basically. And, not to give one of the male astronauts from NASA is such a flake. You just know from the beginning this guy's like a psycho. How did he get in there? It made no sense. My wife felt the same way. I didn't really care about any of the characters, pretty much. And that's a really big problem. I hated the direction that this movie went. It could have been really, really interesting instead of becoming just another thriller in a small, unique space. Never saw this before, but, and it just made no sense. Like, there's nobody on Earth who is working on radiation sickness, only in this little space station. And they're going to save the whole world. Is there a world? And even if they could, how are you going to save a whole world? It doesn't. You don't even know what's going on down there. So at the end of the day, no, we did not care about this movie. Just watching the self-destruction of the crew and stabbing each other in the back and in the neck and literally everywhere else. ISS, not a success for me. On a 5-star scale, I give it 2 stars for fair. Highly disappointed. I'll tell you what I would have done if I was the writer. Here's the plot for me. They look out the window. They see the destruction of Russia. They see the destruction of the United States. They don't have any communication. The thing is starting to sink. They're going to die. Is there anybody who could even help them land on Earth? We don't even know. And they have this Soyuz cruise ship that can go back to Earth, but it can only fit like 2 people. They're going to work together to try to create some kind of humanity, because whatever politics happen on Earth doesn't matter anymore. It's too late. Nuclear war happened. They have to start from scratch. So they should work together, try to figure out a way to get that thing to start, and then pick out the 2 that can go back to Earth. And the reality is there is no Earth. So in my picture, eventually the space station is going to come down and crash. They're going to die. And the 2 people who go, there's nobody left on Earth to help them anyway, and they're going to die, and everybody dies. There's your Alan Rosenberg ending. And that would be an effective ending, because nuclear war would eventually really kill everybody in a sense. My plot. Anyway, if you saw ISS, let me know what you think. For me, International Space Station is an intergalactic shitty story. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.